There we go. That should be everything done. Just about. Haven't streamed in a couple of months and I forgot to set everything up, so everything should just be about ready. I'd be much more confident if I actually did a lot more streams. True of everything though, isn't it? Okay. It's 2 minutes past, we're fine. So we should be good to go. Hello Gray, and hello everybody. Happy Saturday evening, or wherever you are in the world. Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Sunday morning. So, I wasn't planning to stream, to be honest. But events of yesterday really just said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to stream because there's a certain thing going on right now that's really ticking me off. And I decided I was going to stream about it anyway, but I wanted to put a few more topics together before I streamed. But then with yesterday happening again, I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to stream today because, you know what, I feel like streaming today. So, yeah, the DDoS thing is one of them. We'll get onto that in a few minutes. I'll let people start trickling in. Assuming people trickle in. This stream wasn't scheduled and I never usually stream, so I'm not expecting a big turnout anyway. But I will be uploading this at the end either way. So I think I'll just get myself unrusted just by doing a quick roulette, and we'll have some casual conversation before we start up everything. So I haven't done a mentor thing in a while. I don't really want to. I want to do something quick. Although I usually like helping out people who are looking for queues of content that they're usually leveling up in. Like the Dead Ends is a good example. The Final Day would be a second. Let's try those two. See if somebody ends up needing some. I had the wrong keys on, don't I? I was playing Valheim earlier. The Final Day, of course it is. Okay. It's always the Final Day. The Final Day is always needing people, but it was the same in previous expansions as well. For these last trials, people are always needed. For that one person, that one red mage right there who is experiencing this for the first time. I can still remember, I think it was like 5 AM by the time I got to this fight. And I was absolutely shattered and exhausted. So that night is a blur for me. The only reason I remember it is because I recorded it and uploaded it. So I rewatched it. That's the only reason I remember. I was so exhausted. I don't know why I pushed myself so hard. I'm not doing that in Dawntrail, that's for damn sure. Alright. Just let them watch their cutscene. Give them a few minutes. But yeah, I have a few topics I want to go through. One of them is the DDoS. We'll go through that in a bit.
Our hunt ends this day. There is nowhere you can flee that we cannot follow.
Even stars must die.
Everything dies. I'm only realizing with the music off, those planets actually scream when they actually die. Is that supposed to represent the people of those stars dying as these two stars go together? I'm gonna listen to that again, see if that happens again. Yeah, so it's over here. Can you listen? It is! They actually do scream! I did not notice that. That's morbid. It's like you're listening to these stars just like fade out of existence because of her. That is mad. There's so much of this game you actually don't experience with the music on. But the music of this fight is very loud. It's very... There's a lot going on with the music of this fight, isn't there? So, that's nice. Glad I learned that.
This is a kindness.
Damn it! When in doubt, let the other person move. Oh, don't remember this.
All of us have known despair.
I'm looking at this through the lens of extreme mode, you know? I really shouldn't. Wait, which ones are the... Oh, okay.
We have seen the end.
So did I. Again, suck. Oh, here comes the screams. That's a very generic sound scream. Like you'd hear that in other games and stuff. Oh yeah. Are they gonna
The
scream
same
again now?
end. Again and again.
Like, listen for the scream. Right. It's a different scream that time. Okay. The fact that these planets scream in their demise makes this fight so much more interesting. It makes me want to go back into Extreme to see if they actually scream differently. I used to hate these planets. Now they're my favorite mechanic. Look how slow normal world was. Oh, that was a different screen. Oh, red mage. You're okay.
A sorrow so deep only emptiness remains.
Hey Rude, long time no see. Oh god. Oh yeah, I forgot they creep up on me right up to the edge.
'Tis so lonely between the stars.
Maybe you should stop blowing them up then. I'm down here, thank you very much. Where is he going? He just panicked and jumped off. That was a genuine fear, reaction, panic, jump off the edge. Oh, that was good. I like that. When you're doing a fight for the first time and panic sets in, that's really good. Oh god, everybody's dying.
We have seen the end.
Get him back this one. Let me get him back. Come on, up you get. Oh, the screams. Terrible screams. That was the second. Oh, someone else dead now. Oh, these things are gonna survive for so long. Then. Oh, I snapshot that too early.
The same end. Again and again.
Okay, this is more like it.
If there is no happiness in life,
make it. Okay.
There is only one place it may be found.
Oh, that poor planet. Is this planet gonna scream? Taco Daimon. Taco Daimon. Oh yeah. No, they don't scream. Okay. I do not remember this mechanic at all. That was so slow. Nice.
Oblivion.
I did not know that. Oh. Alright, please scream. Please let this planet scream. Oh, thank LB. Still don't know what was tank LB? The hell? Okay. It didn't scream.
Dynamis. No matter. You only delay the inevitable. This is fate.
He says it so casually. Again, Singer prepares to seal the fate of the universe once more.
Your
like it's a
time
Monday
has
morning
come.
thing, you know?
It always does.
Alright, so this is gonna hurt again, isn't it? I think I used my thing a bit too early. Sad. Oh yeah, now I remember, okay. It's been a while since I did this in normal mode. And we get the cutscene, don't we?
Light the way!
Light the way. Boom. Okay.
What is this defiance? No! The hatred, the pain, the loss. We cannot suffer it again.
Oh yeah, that. Okay.
We will stand against fate!
No matter the cost!
We've been here before. Many a time.
Thus do we know.
To never give up. For hope will shine again.
What we saw. What I saw.
Now it's like watching the bad
This can only end in misery and desolation. No life, no star, nor the universe itself. None should hope for better.
Easy. Where's the jumper? There you are. First time with jumper. That jump made my day. Thank you. I like that jump. It reminds me of the good old days when you just have sheer panic. And it's a split the seconds decision. You're just like, do I jump just for the sake of the party? Even though they had no mechanic on them. It's just one of those split moment decisions. Just like, better to jump off than not jump off. Hello, kitty cat. Right. So, I think I'm fully warmed up now. So I think we can get started on everything that I wanted to cover and everything that I didn't want to cover. So, pretty much I've gone into the plot of Dawntrail in my previous streams. I might make a video out of the plot just to get everybody caught up, but I'm not certain. So maybe I will talk about a bit of though over here. So we are getting a lot more information from Creative. I was going to say Creative Business Unit 3, but it's Creative Unit 3 now. So we have been getting the usual teasers from them. I'm still shocked that we're this close to release date. I mean, these past few months have actually flown in. And we're less than a month away now, aren't we? No, sorry. Wait, is it June or July again? I can't remember. I can't even remember the date anymore. Yeah, July 2nd. So we're just under 2 months away. So, have you clicked to see what Kryl, Erenville, and Graha have to say? Yeah, I've caught up with Graha and I caught up with... I don't think I found Kryl. Kryl's not around, I don't think. I know Graha's down at the docks. But he's literally in the mode now of he's elected to stay behind. So he's not going to be doing anything else. Which is what I elaborated on my last stream a couple of months ago, that when I picked apart the final trailer, that I don't think he's going to be playing much of a part in Dawntrail. Maybe the patches after, but not that. Kryl is around in the park's ledge south of the library. Okay, interesting. It seems you caught me in a rather precarious predicament. I've been pursuing new means of acquiring gil, you see. Thinking of potential endeavors we might undertake in future. It wouldn't do to find my coffers wanting at a critical juncture. Perhaps I should consider the Lopert's treasure vault that Urianche spoke of. In any case, so long as they do not interfere with my obligations of the student Spadessian, I intend to pursue all possible avenues. Well, we are looking for a city of gold, you know, so the golden cities of the New World should have plenty of gold. I'm going to go to the library. Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to walk up. I walk everywhere nowadays, if I can help it. It immerses me a lot more in the game. So while I'm walking up there, yeah, Graha is not going to play much of a part in Dawntrail. I mean, you have to think about the context as well. Like, the way this quest is going to play out, we literally just did that and they're ready to leave. So literally we had the conversation saying, yeah, we're going to go to Terrell with you and help you with the succession trial. That's happening in real time for them, but for us it feels like months. But he literally just said that now that he's going to stay behind, so there's no reason for him to just change his mind and sail on over to Terrell. So there's that. And we haven't heard from Y'shtola. She's on the southwest edge. Okay. Oh, she's on the same bench that she's been on before. Okay, fair enough. Well, I should be able to find her up there. Not a problem. I've been playing a lot of Scholar lately. I'm still torn about what I want to play in Dawntrail. I've never mained a healer. Like, mained. I've picked it up after an expansion, but I've never played it fully before. So I'm torn between this and Pictomancer. But I suppose we'll find out on Thursday when the live stream goes up. Just to confirm again, the live stream is happening on this coming Thursday. So we're going to get all our job reveals and everything else. Okay, so she's been down here. Interesting. Where is she though? I never looked down here. I think the last time I looked down here is when I needed screenshots for my previous video, which involved Charlian. But I think that was before this quest change. Like, I remember this bench. Maybe I missed her. Did I miss her? Oh, wait, there she is. Okay. I've completely walked by her. Hello, gorgeous. And in your new outfit, no less. Okay, let me get a good look at you. I really love her new outfit. It really, really... It clicks with me, you know? It really clicks with me. Alright, Cryle, my dear, what do you have to say? The only clues I have to grandfather's business in Terrell are his letter and the earring he enclosed with it. Though perhaps if I wear it and someone there recognizes it, they may offer further insights into why he was there. Okay, so that's why she's wearing the earring. She's hoping somebody's going to recognize it. So the earring might be a plot point. Maybe it's an heirloom of some sort. Maybe it belongs to a certain tribe. So maybe that's the reason that that's gonna tie into the Dawntrail plot. That's what it sounds like anyway. Alright, let me dissect that again. The only clues I have to grandfather's business in Terrell are his letter and the earring he enclosed with it. Yeah, but hang on. Maybe I'm misunderstanding that. The letter came from... Oh, what's his name? The current head of Terrell. The Dawn Servant. The current Dawn Servant to Terrell sent this letter to Cross Grandfather. But the only clues I have to Grandfather's business in Terrell are his letter and the earring he enclosed with it. So she's saying this, it sounds like it's in the context of our grandfather, but it's in the context of the Dawn Servant. Because he penned the letter. Or he had somebody pen the letter, I think. And the letter was quite old. Because the Dawn Servant didn't realize that Baldessian is gone now. Galul Jaja, that's the one. I couldn't remember the name. Thank you very much, Rue. Yeah, so Galul Jaja had that letter penned and sent over. With the earring. Whatever this earring may signify. We're going to find out soon enough. Could be a key. Could be a key. I'd say it's probably a key. Somebody's going to recognize it and it's probably a key. But yeah, the letter was sent a long time ago when her grandfather was still around. I think that just hints mainly to the information disconnect between Eorzea, the rest of the world, and the New World. The sea routes are still open though. So people are able to sail to and from the New World regularly. Just for gameplay purposes, it's never mentioned. But the route is there. The route was scouted out by people like Merlwib, for example. She found the newest route to the New World, which is what everybody uses now. If I wear it and someone they recognize it, they may offer further insights. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen. She's going to be wearing the earring, somebody's going to recognize it, and then it's going to make the plot move forward. So I like the fact that it's a Shanrock. That's really nice though. I like that. Resonates with me, not just because I'm Irish. So that's it for Kryle. Now, there's a few topics I wanted to go into in regards to Terrell, but they mainly involve some of the teasers that we've been getting as well. So let me bring those up real quick. So, Twitter FF14. I never go on Twitter, but I see people posting it on Discord regarding the hints that have all been coming true. So we'll go through a few of these hints now and see what the story is. So let me see. What was the last hint? Oh yeah, the last little teaser was the Arcadian. And I'm still of the opinion it looks like a giant gaming tower. But a lot of the symbols are interesting, aren't they? So this is the new raid that's coming. But we don't know the context of it yet. It's very cyberpunk, very Tron. It's very futuristic. Let's just say it like that. It's very futuristic. This looks like a future cityscape. This looks like Esther from Final Fantasy VIII. And it's totally out of place in FF14. However, I've come up with a theory myself in regards to why. And my theory has to do... Let me pull up a world map. Yeah, it's not a proper world map though. Let me pull up a proper world map. Give me a second. So... Yeah, I've caught that as well. They really look like... Like, we've been wondering where some of these Ascians went. If they weren't killed off. For the sake of the plot. So, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they set up their little pet projects, so to speak. But I'll get to that in a second. So, let me pull up a world map real quick. So, maps. And where's the one I created a while ago? Or where's the new one? Where's the new map? Where's the new world map? Pretty sure I downloaded it. Or maybe I didn't download it. Okay, fair enough. To new world map Dawntrail. Yeah, okay, that'll do. That'll do for now. Yes, open. There we go. Okay. So, let me see the stream again. Yeah, we were given this one and we were given another one. I'm too lazy to find it, to be honest. The map is interesting. It has the clouds, of course, which are very annoying, but they might come into play another time. It has the retcons, of course, like the South Sea Isles now being here rather than down here. Interesting one as well. I brought that up in one of my first shorts. And then you have Tyrell over here and a northern parts of the continent here. And as I've already mentioned, and everybody knows by now, this continent of the New World is meant to represent North America and South America. Or, what's the word? The Americas, sorry. And you have Mericidia down here, of course. Now, my theory in regards to Arcadian and the cities like Solution 9 that we're going to be visiting all revolve around the Allegan Empire. Now, let me bring up the other image that came up. They have a lot of tweets lately. We have that one as well. I've already talked about this. I posted about this, and I'd love to hear people's theories as well. We'll come back to that in a minute. Yes. International dance. Oh, okay. See, this is what happens when you don't use social media. You don't pick up on stuff like this. FF14 Solution 9. I still think of Esther anytime I see this, to be honest. Don't start showing me ads, please. Come on, go away. Sites. Yeah, I still see Esther from Final Fantasy VIII anytime I see this. Now, the reason I'm talking about the Allegan Empire in regards to this, I've been thinking a lot about expanded lore over the past few months. So, a lot of lore is not getting elaborated on by the game developers, so I come up with ideas in my own mind. Like a lot of us do. A lot of us expand upon lore in our own minds to try and think about how things are actually going, how they end up happening or not. That was a bad way of explaining it. But we do this all the time. We make up lore about our own characters and everything else. I have been thinking a lot about lore in terms of expansion of subjects that are no longer referenced. So the Allegan Empire has been on my mind for a while now. And Solution 9 and all the other futuristic cities that are coming in Dawntrail have been on my mind as well. And one theory I've come up in my mind is to do with Allag. So the Allegan Empire, as you know, started off in Eorzea. Then they created aetherochemistry, which is a melding of technology and etheric principles, which is what allowed them to come to power in the first place. So they became a world-spanning empire at this stage. They started conquering lands all over the 3 great continents. They're in Mericidia towards the end of their empire. And they even did space travel. Now, my theory comes into play because of space travel. So, at some point, the Allagan Empire was able to develop the ability to go into space. We've seen this with Dalamud, for prime example, and we've seen it with Heimdall's Last Stand, or Heimdall's Last Fall. The spaceships. So they've had spaceships and they've been able to send craft into space. But the fact that they were able to get into space means that they have a full view of exactly what the world looks like. So, and they've also likely had the ability to traverse great distances a lot easier than we can. We rely on ships and airships. They might most likely had much more efficient ways to travel. They were able to move parts of land masses from one side of the world to the other. These guys were able to just jump around constantly and do this. No, we were talking about cloud cover for a second there, but I'm onto the Allagan Empire right now. So, the fact that Allag were able to get into space means they were able to see the planet from above, and naturally, if you've seen the planet from above, it means you have a full view of exactly what the land masses of your planet looks like. So they're able to see Eorzea, they're able to see the continents that they already had. They're also able to see Mericidia, and they were able to see the New World. Now, this begs the question for me. The Allagan Empire had such a vast reach across these continents here and Mericidia. It seems very natural to me, given the proximity, that they would have had a reach onto the New World as well. The only reason it hasn't been explored is because the New World is not in the game, and it hasn't been elaborated on in lore. Mericidia has, this one hasn't. But I've been thinking about it in terms of an empire falling. So, in our own history, empires that have existed in the past that had a seat of power and conquered other lands, in the event that that empire falls or transforms into something else, the colonies that they had all over the world tend to be left to themselves and most likely fall apart because they no longer have the support of the empire that created them. So the Allagan Empire expanded all of these continents. Then when it fell, because of the calamity of Earth, most of their colonies around the world likely fell as well. But that's where I'm thinking this happened as well. I'm thinking that Allag had colonies on the New World. Multiple colonies, in fact. Then when the Allagan Empire fell because the seat of power in Eorzea was wiped out, essentially, these colonies were left to fend for themselves. Most of these colonies faded out of existence, but what if the ones in the New World did not? What if these colonies continue to persist? It's also important to remember that the Ark summoning Sari from the place called Frontier City, which makes me think of the Americas. Just fairly remote. Good points as well. Now, here's what I'm thinking. So, colonies, Allagan colonies existed on the New World. Allag was wiped out by the calamity. Most of the colonies fell, but the colonies, or at least one colony or two colonies on the New World, were able to endure. They were self-sufficient enough to be able to endure. And they had the current technological level that Allag had at that point. So they're left to fend for themselves, and then they become their own isolated state. And in the thousands of years since the Allagan Empire, their technology has continued to evolve and to change into something entirely new. So the reason this looks kind of like Allag, but not like Allag, it actually looks far more flashy and better than Allag, is because thousands of years have passed. This is why it looks so advanced. This is what happens when Allag continues to evolve over a couple of thousand years. S9 uses the proto-alphabet of the ancients, not Allag's alphabet. That's a very good point as well. That's another thing I elaborated on my first stream. They do use the proto-alphabet, which is interesting. Which also had me drawing upon a theory that they utilized, or it was an ancient colony. or some remnant of the ancients, or the Ascians, really. The fact that they use that language is interesting. Another theory I came up with is that the language endured after the Sundering for some reason on the New World. Oh, this one has labels, okay. Employment, soul supply, elevators, Nexus bar, meteor, dancer, solution 9. Okay, so somebody's translated these already, and it's translated into that. Nexus bar, meteor. Assuming these translations are correct, dancer, solution 9, which is the name of the city. So that's solution 9, I'm assuming. Yeah, it sounds like it feels like a high street, borderline red light district. But this is something I can't stop thinking about. Like, I'd love for a colony of the Allegan Empire to still exist, or the Allegan Empire to still exist in some form. So I'd love if they had some connection with the Allegan Empire. It's one theory of many, but it's one I'm really holding on to, and I really hope it happens. If not in this expansion, then it happens in Mirror City. Because I'd really love the Allegan Empire to be touched upon properly again. Like, we've seen glimpses of the Allegan Empire and what it looked like in the Crystarium. The Crystarium was designed using technology based on Allegan building infrastructure. I'm still leaning towards the cyberpunk looking cities are some form of Ascian ancient civilization. I have a feeling the Allegan shenanigans would be found in Mirror City. I'd agree with that as well. Well, as I said, everybody has theories. This is a couple of mine. And we're going to get proven correct or incorrect, or maybe an amalgamation of multiple theories. But as both of you have said, the fact that they use the proto-alphabet is one of the key things that tells us that this civilization, whatever it is old, or is based upon old principles and knowledge, such as that which is possessed by the Ascians. Lally-ho to you, Powell. Right. Now, what else was I going to talk about? I suppose I better talk about the elephant in the room. So it's Carl, I'm going to sit beside you for a minute. I'm cold. Thank you. I've said it a million times, I really love Carl. Carl's my favorite character. Okay. Now, the elephant in the room. May as well talk about it now because it's pissing me off. Final Fantasy XIV is under attack, and has been under attack for some time now. So, as you've probably noticed over the past few times, maybe you've gotten disconnected from servers, maybe you've noticed the lodestone updates on the lodestone itself, or on a Discord that has a connection to it, that the game has been under constant attack by some malicious party with the intent of... The intent is, there's only one intent, to cause havoc. So, everybody's progression has been annoyed by this. Everybody's ability to do anything in the game has been annoyed by this. Like, I've been trying to take pictures and do video clips, and my character disappears. Or I teleport and my character never loads in, and then I'm walking around invisible. Which was interesting from a recording perspective, but it made things very annoying. And it's been happening all over the game. I'm seeing messages on a daily basis on my Discord feeds now about DDoS attack, DDoS attack, DDoS attack. How do I bring up DDoS attacks on this? Status. Okay. Yeah, so network difficulties by DDoS attack. That was yesterday. DDoS attack day before. Day before. Day before. And then these servers got literally decimated by the same thing. So it's been happening for a while now. These DDoS attacks have been constantly hammering the FF14 servers. And we've never gotten a proper explanation. The only thing we've gotten are these posts to say that recovery from network technical difficulties caused by DDoS attacks. Now, I'm an IT engineer. I know fair bit about DDoS attacks. I don't know massive amounts. I'm not a network engineer. But I do know what facilitates them and what causes them. And what's required to make them happen. But the fact that these attacks are directly directed at FF14 is interesting. So somebody's obviously pissed off, or annoyed, or bored, or all of the above, and is launching coordinated attacks against the FF14 services. And it's been going on for a while. Like, for the past couple of years, DDoS attacks have been a thing. But it's only in the last month or so that you've been constantly seeing it in your feeds and everybody's getting disconnected. So everybody's aware of this now, that something's wrong. And then we're getting constant messages like this to say that it's happening. And they're doing the only thing they can do. So during the times listed below, we're experiencing network technical difficulties due to a DDoS attack. Players may have experienced the following issues as a result. We will continue to monitor the situation and work with ISPs to come up with countermeasures. It's a very difficult thing to have proper countermeasures towards a DDoS attack of this nature, especially for a game like FF14. If this was a business, from my perspective, if this was a business, it would be much easier to deal with, because the traffic going in and out of a business such as the business that I work for is much more predictable. So my security would be able to prevent the DDoS attack. It would see it happening, and it would snap into action to be able to stop it. And I'd know how to manually stop it as well if I needed to. But with a service like FF14, it's much more difficult because they're getting constant traffic from tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of different IPs and players all over the world at the same time. So these denial of service attacks are coming from likely everywhere. So they're likely not just coming from a single source, they're probably coming from hundreds of IPs, all routed through all sorts of different routing in order to be invisible, essentially. It's annoying as fuck though, to be honest, because it's not slowing down and it's happening every day now, which is really annoying. I mean, I'd love to just say to Square Enix, have you tried reaching out to a specialist to try and prevent this from happening? Like, a specialist that would literally be able to follow this traffic back to its origin. I mean, whoever's doing this DDoS attack is... Let's make it clear, this is a crime. DDoS attacks like this are a crime. So, it's taken very seriously. I'm sure they've already reported it to the proper authorities in Japan. But they need a proper company to go after it. They need a proper firm. The likes of Dawntrail would probably be able to hunt these people down to find out exactly where the traffic's coming from. Then the information is given to the proper authorities. In this case, for most DDoS attacks like this, they usually are foreign. So it would be Interpol who would actually have to handle it. But it's just annoying. I'd love to know who it is. But let me look at the last few attacks. So that was the attack from yesterday. As far as I'm aware, nothing's happened today. So there's an attack from a few days ago. And it's hitting all of the different servers. It's hitting Japan, EU, NA, Oceania. They have their... Like, Square Enix has their own security. I'm sure they have their own network guys, their network teams. Not dissing them at all, but they're probably not security savants that are required for this sort of issue. Just from my own personal experience, when I've seen banks come under DDoS attacks like this, they don't try to solve it themselves. They go through firms that are designed for doing that sort of work. They'd go to publicly traded white hat firms in order to actually hunt down these attackers. So I've heard theories about it being something to do with CDog VA, people trying to sabotage him as he started to stream FF14. To be honest, I have no idea who that is. I suppose I'll Google the name. CDAWGVA. I'm assuming he's some sort of... I'm assuming he's a Twitch streamer. Okay. So... Former WoW players have said they wouldn't be surprised if it was a part hardcore WoW fans also trying to sabotage. He's a voice actor in a Wii podcast. Okay. I must have been playing recently. Oh yeah, I heard that a lot of people have been paying attention to somebody playing recently. I've said this a million times. I don't know who streams or plays FF14 from a content creator perspective. I isolate myself from them, so I have no idea who any of them are. Even my lore counterparts, I have no idea who any of them are. But yeah, it's annoying, but it's concerning for me, primarily because we're not far away from Dawntrail. So it's happening now. It's an inconvenience to us right now, but we've done most of what we wanted to do in the game at the moment. But the moment Dawntrail launches and these DDoS attacks start happening again, this is going to get extremely annoying. Like, the servers are going to be under enough stress as is, with people trying to log in. And it was already a chore to get logged in during the first week of an expansion. Add the DDoS attacks onto it. This is going to be annoying. Like, borderline, we're not going to be able to play at all sorts of annoying. That's why I hope to get this sorted out in the next month or two, because I really don't want to go through Dawntrail with DDoS attacks, because it's going to mean one thing: we're not going to be able to play if there's DDoS attacks against the servers, because there's too much traffic already. Add on a DDoS. No, we're not doing that. So I hope this gets resolved. So either the party involved just stops, or the authorities catch up with them. I'm assuming that's already been reported. I think it's a given. With the number of DDoS attacks, it's been reported to the authorities. So I'd say there's an investigation ongoing. Definitely. You don't do this many DDoS attacks and fly under the radar. That's for certain. They had to have reported it. And they have to be investigating on their own. They're not going to say anything, of course. They're not going to tip off the people doing the DDoS. I'm sure they are in panic mode. Well, the devs are not going to be in panic mode as much. It's more the management are going to be in panic mode, because a failed launch of an expansion would make Square Enix have egg on its face. So it's in their best interest to get this situation resolved, which is why they need to hire a proper firm to hunt these DDoS attackers down. The proper firm would hunt them down, guarantee you. And they'd give the information to the proper authorities. It's just a matter of them doing that. It won't be cheap, I can guarantee you that. It'll cost them tens of thousands to get this done, but it can be done. I've seen it done. Banks have done it in the past. Banks have hired third-party white hat firms for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands even, to hunt down people who are attacking their interests. So it mainly just depends on how far Square Enix wants to go with this. To set an example more than anything. Like, this would set an example. If they hunted down these DDoS attackers, or the orchestrator of it. There has to be some orchestrator of it. Like, the attacks are coming from everywhere. That's a given. But there's an orchestrator behind it. So whoever it is, if they get caught and they get brought to justice, it sends a message to saying, don't fuck around with us anymore. We'll see what they do. But the point is, I'm just worried about Dawntrail, because I don't want this happening during it. It'll be the worst thing. Like, most of us have time booked off. We've been waiting a couple of years for this now. The worst thing that can happen to us on day one is a DDoS attack happens, and it makes our arduous effort to even get logged in the first place impossible. So. Yeah, it's going to be Raubon's wall again, essentially. I don't think they could delay it. I don't think they'd delay an expansion because of a DDoS stack. But I think they have to realize this as well. The fact that they've been attacked so much, they have to realize the release of their upcoming expansions in jeopardy. So we'll see what they do. They're not going to say anything about this. So we're only going to get this information that the players need to know. Everything else happens in the background. If they find these DDoS attackers, they're not going to say anything. They're just going to make an example out of them, or the authorities are, rather. They're not going to publicize this unless a news article picks up on it, a reporter picks up on it, and then it's published. But yeah. So, I want to do something now. Just, and the next thing I want to talk about, I'll just do a quick run of something. So, what do I want to run? Maybe I should just do a roulette. Maybe I should play around with the valleys. Yeah, they need a healer. Let's play around with the valleys. I love insta-Qs, you know? That's why I'd want to roll healer. Insta-Qs. Alright. It's going to be a level... It's going to be a sub 50 one, I can guarantee. Usually always is. Usually the ones that involve the free trials. That's usually what you end up getting. Oh, you're so adorable. Your necklace is cool. And it's a lot more 3D. Alright. What do we get? Holminster Switch. Okay. Interesting. Ah, so we have a new one. Okay. I don't particularly mind this dungeon, except for the fact that I've done it like 50 million times while attempting to level my trust guys. I was here just recently taking screenshots, so yeah. I don't mind this dungeon. I like every dungeon, to be honest. I do like this dungeon as well because it's a window into the world outside of the game world of the first that we normally see. That would have been cool if the Gremlins had voice actors, yeah. Like if they started teasing us and stuff like that would have been cool. Even in that weird language that they spoke, I wouldn't have minded that either. Oh yeah. Oh, this is level 80. Oh, this is wait, what level am I in? 71 or something. I need to watch what I have and don't have. Okay. Oh, I have that. Good. Those tanks probably knows what they're doing as well. That said, he's getting chunky. I guess I'm just too used to playing with warriors, right? Oh god. I'm too used to playing with warriors and the fact that they heal themselves. Yeah, these first couple of pulls are pretty juicy, aren't they? They have a lot more mobs than you think. I think this one only has a couple. Oh wait, no, this is the big one, isn't it? There's 2, then 3, and then there's 4 up ahead or something, isn't it? Alright, I'm gonna have to be on my good behavior. Very. Oh god, he's getting jumped. Fine. That got instantly used. Oh, he's getting jumped. I miss warriors. Warriors don't take nearly as much damage. I really shouldn't be using that spell that much. But then again, it does sound like berry, so berry cookie. There we go. Alright, boss fights. What up, you annoying ass angel Amdapor wannabe? What does dissonance mean again? I can't remember what dissonance means. The path of life. So yeah, there was something I wanted to talk about. I got that distracted. So I've been thinking. Oh yeah, this is just lines. Oh no. Okay. Alright, let me finish the boss fight, then we'll talk about it. I'm gonna get somebody killed. Oh god. Juicy gold. Okay, pass him out again. I can't remember. Oh, okay. This fight's more difficult than most fights, to be honest. Okay. Once this fight's over, now I'll talk. Because if I get everybody killed, I'm gonna look like a bump. Over here. Oh god. Looking away from the screen for 1 minute. Oh. This fight is a lot harder than most fights. This is a good fight though. I like the gear that comes out here. The weapons are nice. So, yeah, what I want to talk about. I've been thinking about the upcoming leveling experience. Now, what I mean by this, so the moment we go into Dawntrail and we start leveling up, and the experience of doing all the main story to the end of 7.0. Oh. Yeah, rip DPS keys, exactly. Especially when you've got 2 new DPS. Oh god. 2 new DPS into the game as well. DPS queues are ripped. Although healer queues for anybody still leveling healer are going to be very good, because most people are going to grind dungeons. Alright, I've realized I can't talk about my topic with a non-warrior. This guy's getting chunked. So if somebody's leveling a healer through Endwalker, they're going to have a nice time, and they're going to be very thanked by the entire community, and even tanks as well, because everybody's going to be trying to level their Pictomancers and their Vipers. And most of them are going to do it, as far as I'm aware, through dungeon grinds. I think it's still probably the best way of doing it. I haven't leveled something during expansion since Shadowbringers, to be honest, but I'd imagine that's still the way. Oh, Crystal Tower. A lot of people don't realize that the music of Crystal Tower comes from Final Fantasy 4, isn't it? 4 or 5? God, people are getting chunked. This is making me work for my meal. Alright, I should really stop DPSing. Oops. Would you just die already? Oh, hello, team. Poor dearie. Oh, Tesline. Why did I say her name wrong? Rip. There'll probably be a small resurgence of Axolotl due to the rework, but would help much. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Ask rework is. But then again, I'm looking forward to all the reworks. There's a few classes that are getting reworked, aren't they? I think some of the classes are getting completely redesigned. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what they are. Oh, Reaper, you stay behind. That's good. You dislike the summoner one. What, the current summoner? That's what you don't like? I've said it before, I dislike the fact that they've taken a lot of the dots away. But why am I running away? God. Yeah, I should put that in the corner. Never mind. Oh, I'm such a noob. Up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, a lot of people have mixed opinions about current summoners. Some people love it, some people hate it. As someone who's touched off summoner since the beginning, it wasn't necessarily my cup of tea. It felt so different. But I had easy access to it because I leveled my scholar, so there's that. Oh, remember that. Forgive me, Alice. Please, I forgive me. Sick. I still say the transformation of a Sin Eater is probably still one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen in this game. Are we allowed to talk about data mine class changes in this stream, or should I stay quiet until the media turn? I'd say, from my personal perspective, I'd say talk about it. From everybody else's perspective, I can't talk for them. So I'd say probably not. I don't particularly mind because I don't usually pay attention to... I'm more of a lore person. So... they won't drastically affect me, but if it's something... yeah, I'd say hold off until Thursday. Oh. Alright, change Paladin that's like Warrior, please. Or is it just this guy getting jumped out of it? I should be doing a better job of healing. You know what every group is, they always play me. Maybe it's because we're actually we're in a 71 dungeon. Maybe that's why he feels so squishy. Maybe they don't get their more unkillable stuff until the end, I guess. I haven't played Paladin in years, so I don't know. I think I stopped playing Paladin. Yeah, I stopped playing Paladin just after Alexander Gordius. So I played Warrior going into Gordius. Then I switched to Paladin. Then I quit being a tank altogether because I was sick and tired of the current meta. So if people don't recall what the meta was in Heaven's Ward, tanks wore DPS accessories, and they made their HP as low as possible in order to do the maximum amount of damage. So you were expected as a tank to survive tank busters and stuff like that with a sliver of HP, and then the healers would do the rest and stuff like that. It was a meta I honestly despised. I hated it. For all of my being, I hated it. I just wasted a blow. I hated that meta. Really, truly. I would not forgive it. I can understand why the meta was enforced, why it existed. People were having a hard time killing stuff because of DPS checks, but following what the top 1% did not help anybody. I guess I'm just having a weird time. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I should be doing a lot more than I'm currently doing. There's stuff I should be utilizing that I'm not utilizing. Like, I haven't been utilizing my fairy properly. I'm also burning through my own spamming. If there's one thing I'm hoping for, is that Scholar gets a damn gap closer. I mean, expedient is fine, sure, speeds me up, but I have other times to use that. I've been, ironically though I say that, I've been using it for one reason lately whenever I'm doing any content, which is to allow people to escape from AoEs more easily, rather than soaking up damage. We need to wait for the Reaper. Fear the Reaper. Fiori Rattalia. I can guess where that's from. Yeah, in certain things like that, it would feel amazing. But at the same time, I also miss a gap closer. It would be comfy. Like, what if your gap closer is your fairy literally picking you up and carrying you off to a location? That's a cool gap closer. Oh, Claire again. Oh god, everybody's taking damage. Iron chains done. Sip upon my ether. The book is good here. That cleave's pretty big. People getting cleaved. Run. I wanted to pop expedient at that point just to go run, and it's like, wait, I don't have it. For sure. I'm also not utilizing healer macros like healers do. Not that I can't, it's just like, I don't feel like using them. Stop running around! There you go, that's a good pal. I never got to talk about my topic here because I was too... Yeah, that was a waste of a bubble. Oh, he's going this way, okay. Oh, okay. Run! Oh god, he got shot. I don't remember those, to be honest. Maybe I just never interacted with them because I was always following the father. Where's my ferret? Oh yeah, okay. Zoned out for a bit there. I'm already ahead because I place it in the middle. Yeah, sure. The one thing I do remember, primarily because I always see my own healers do it. So I'm just picking up on the habits of them. Did you just die already? Die. Alright, the new... Wait, which one was the new one again? Oh, the one viewing the cutscene, of course. Yeah, silly. That was a stupid question. Okay, you got some goodies. There you go. So... See ya. I got 2 commendations, because the healers always get the commendations. Right, now I can actually talk about my topic of what I want to talk about. So, I've been thinking about how to spice up Dawntrail. So, in order to do that, I've been thinking about my past experiences with all the other expansions. What I ended up doing, how I ended up doing them, how long I took to do them, and a number of other factors as well. Like, I can remember before Endwalker launched, I made all my preparations for my personal life. So, I did my spring cleaning that during the downtime before the expansion. I got all my meals ready, so I literally had to grab meals out of the fridge, heat them up, and away I go. So I had my schedule down to a T. I even fit exercise into it and dog walking and stuff in order to clear my head. So I was able to do that, but I've been thinking more about my leveling experience. So I probably actually have some here. Let me see. I think most of my saddlebags are empty at this point, but yeah, either way. So, I want to spice it up as much as I can. And I've thought of a couple of ways in order to do it. So, if you recall when you're leveling, like say for Endwalker for example, you start leveling and you start getting quest rewards and you start getting rewards from dungeons as well. So you can start getting all these new pieces of gear and chests that contain a necklace and a ring, or pants or a chest or something like that. So I've been thinking that after I leveled an Endwalker, these things were just cluttering up my saddlebags. So my saddlebags were full of these chests and all this random gear that I ended up getting, like this stuff here. So I had my Kistos robes and stuff like that. All sorts of stuff that I probably wouldn't end up using because I went into the expansion with a full set of raid gear on. That was better than the first few levels of gear that you ended up getting. And that always annoyed me. It always annoyed me that I got all this new shiny gear, but I never used it because I already had this lovely raid gear on. It's not the case now because I haven't raided this current tier, so my gear is not as good as it used to be. So, the first way I'm going to spice up Dawntrail for myself is I'm going to wear an entirely new set of gear. And I actually have it here, I've already prepared it. So, the gear is equipped there, and it's all grey. Or white, rather. So, I've got all this level 88 gear. So this is the gear that you'd usually typically see a person who's leveling up in FF14 and then they jump from one expansion to the other. They're usually wearing ghetto gear, but the expansion leveling up process is designed for players like this, who are wearing ghetto gear. They jump into it and they give them all sorts of rewards from the quests, from the dungeons and everything else in order to gear them up properly. So that's what I'm going to do with my experience. So when I go into Dawntrail, every piece of gear and every chest piece, every chest I get with a gear piece, I'm going to be able to use. So it's going to make things a lot harder for me because it's going to make leveling more difficult. It's going to make healing in dungeons if I decide to be a scholar. I'll do this on the Pictomancer if I end up being Pictomancer. But that's how I'm going to spice up my time in Dawntrail first of all. So I'm looking forward to doing that. It's an idea I thought up a while ago, and I prepared this entire set specifically for that purpose and dressed it up exactly as I look. I'm going to have to end up glamoring a lot of different things. But What are the odds I actually ran into the Reaper from the last dungeon? Oh my god. Okay, Kea, it was very nice playing with you. Thank you. What are the odds of that? Okay. My mind's just blown right now. It's just like, the world is smaller than I thought it was. Thank you for tuning in. It was a pleasure to play that dungeon with you. So, yeah, so that's my first one. I can't believe that happened, to be honest. I occasionally bump into people that watch my videos, but not a stream. So that's interesting. So, it's a nice coincidence. I'm glad that happened. Now, that's my first way of spicing up Dawntrail. The second one is more, it may sound more like a punishment than anything else. But if people recall, a few months ago I did an experiment where I decided not to utilize teleportation in FF14. So if I had to go anywhere in game, I had to travel there manually. So either on foot or on mount, or if I had to utilize a boat, I'd take a boat or an airship, for example. Like, there's some locations I couldn't get to without utilizing something like that. But I did that for a full week and it left a profound impact on me, because ever since I tried to utilize fast travel as little as possible. There's certain things I do it for. I've done it during the stream multiple times because you don't want to see me walking long distance from one location to the other. I've been walking around Charlene instead of utilizing the mini aetherytes. But for Dawntrail, I'm going to do the same thing again for my level up experience. I'm not going to utilize aetherytes at all. So I'm going to get from A to B entirely on my mount. If I have to travel back to Eorzea, I'm going to travel back the way I got to Doral in the first place via boat. And running from one quest to the other, it's going to be tedious as hell. Having to run back and forth, but I honestly just feel much more immersed in the game because I don't utilize teleportation, that I'm going to try do it during my Dawntrail experience. I'd say I'll probably put up with it for the first 5 or 6 levels, and then once it gets very tedious, I'm just going to say, do you know what, I'm not going to punish myself like this anymore, and I'm just going to teleport. But I'm going to do it for as long as I can, hopefully for the entire thing. It's going to mean that my footage for recording this expansion are a lot longer than years. Oh, that's probably one of the more unique ones I've ever seen. Like, it's not uncommon to see these things, but oh my god, that's probably one of the more standoutish ones. Most of them are usually green or another curl like that. I don't think I've ever seen a blue one with a blue dress before. That is some glamour game right there. What is your name? I always compliment people on their glamours. Yeah, your glamour made me laugh by how awesome it is. I love complimenting people on their glamours. People work so hard on their glamours, it's good to give them recognition. Especially this one. This one got a chuckle out of me, which is exactly what they were going for. I'm sure it was. That is a hell of a glamour. It just looks so ridiculous. Imagine this in a cutscene. And it's just like, what are you looking at? Do you want to see a knife? I've got a knife. Oh, no, you're up there. No, my eyes are up here, thank you. I'm having a bit too much fun with this. Okay. Alright. Enough of that. It's gonna get me crazy for a while. Something I've also started doing recently is I've stopped taking screenshots using the in-game system. So, the reason I've been doing that is twofold. So, whenever you take a screenshot in FF14, you get the shutter sound. You can't turn it off. Pisses me off the fact that we don't have that. If they were going to add one quality of life feature in this entire game, is turn off the shutter for the screenshot. It would make people's lives a lot easier, especially mine. But that's the first thing it does. The second thing is it timestamps it, which honestly I'm fine with timestamping it. However, for most of my videos, whenever I had to put a screenshot on my video, I had to expand the image in order to cut out the timestamp. However, I decided, like, I've had enough. I'm tired of doing that, and I'm tired of taking screenshots during cutscenes that ruin the sound of my cutscenes, which means I had to go back and record the cutscene again. It wasted my time. So I decided to change the defaults for it to pretty much the Windows default. So the Windows default now for taking a screenshot of the on-screen is Alt print screen. That takes a screenshot of the screen, but it also doesn't capture the mouse, which is brilliant. So I can move the mouse around, take a screenshot like that, and it doesn't capture the mouse, doesn't do the screenshot click, and it doesn't have a timestamp, which makes my life a hell of a lot easier, because I don't have to go through cutscenes anymore, because most of the time I have to go through cutscenes multiple times. First when I'm researching it, second when I'm recording it, and third when I was taking screenshots for specific periods. But I can do that pretty much all at once now. I've started actually recording all of my I've started making a library of well, I do make a library of screenshots, but I've been making a library of every cutscene in the game, primarily to go back to them, because I was tired of having to go back. So I'd make a video about a certain subject, it required this cutscene, then a year down the line I needed that cutscene again. Oh, I deleted that, I have to go back and record it again. So I quickly tired of that. I was planning to do it after Dawntrail launched, primarily because of the new shaders and stuff, but I want to record how the game used to be before it becomes what it is. It's going to be better, sure, but yeah, I just thought I'd share that. Now, what else did I want to talk about? Yeah, the surprise I had. So, somebody's already said, Rue, you've already said this, that you're transferring your main tune to the new data center when 7.0 drops. It's definitely dropping on expansion launch, right? Because I'm fairly sure that's what they did it for. I was surprised, to be perfectly honest, because don't forget, a few months before this announcement, well, let's go back. Let's scroll back, right? So, a couple of years ago, they told us that EU is getting... Hello, Casty. EU is getting a third data center. So, yeah, we were told that a couple of years ago. And then it finally materialized. Stream snap. Yes, I get it. Just don't do anything lewd, please, Casty, please. No, not that. I hate being pat. Every Lalafell hates being pat, despite what they say. But yeah, a couple of years ago we got the announcement that the third data center was coming. Then we heard nothing about it. Then recently we got the announcement that the third data center is coming, and we're getting the new servers that come with it. And a lot of people, Rue, as you're saying, a lot of people are of the opinion right now that we don't need a third data center. Now, most of the servers, not all of them, most of them, like Phoenix, have a queue, but the queue is only like 12 people. You're in the queue for less than a minute to get into the game, which is brilliant. But the fact that there's a constant queue doesn't necessarily mean that the servers are full. The fake queues, as Cassie just said there, fake queues, fake news. Like, the queues are they're not representative of a full server. Usually they're put in place long before the server's capacity is hit. But a lot of people were surprised, primarily because of a few months before we did have the tests for the cloud data center. And the test was a resounding success as far as I was aware. I played on it for over a week, or the week that was on, and it was brilliant. Like, I had zero issue with it. I didn't feel like it was a cloud data center at all. It felt like a a standard bog standard data center. And to be honest, we knew that the fact that the servers are full now means they're going to be much more full when Dawntrail comes around. So I was under the assumption that they brought out the tests for the cloud data center specifically for the launch of an expansion like Dawntrail. So for example, my thought process around it was, alright, they'll bring out the cloud data centers shortly before the expansion launches and tailor it specifically for new customers. Like, for example, remember when Endwalker launched, they prevented new customers from logging in. So it was mainly for existing customers to come back. I'm not sure exactly how long that lasted, but primarily because there were so many people coming back, they stopped the ability for new customers, I think, to either buy the game or log into the game. I'm not really sure which one it was, but either way. I thought that they were bringing back cloud data centers in order to resolve that issue. So I wasn't expecting a third data center. So I'm surprised. But a lot of people have reacted negatively about it, because it's going to split the community again. The splitting of the original Chaos data center was met negatively by a lot of people. We got used to it, but in a lot of ways, the EU community has still not recovered from the split of Chaos into Chaos and Light. I remember the first couple of months of 2022, you were unable to buy the game. Yeah, exactly. So they prevented people from buying the game primarily because there was too much interest in FF14. Now, this is not to say that they're not going to bring back the cloud data centers for this purpose. You'll see the stop sales and stop free trial people from logging in. But that would have been unnecessary had the cloud data centers been around at that point. They could have turned it on and just said, alright, new players are going to join this cloud data center. Then down the line, maybe a couple of weeks down the line, they say, alright, things for Dawntrail have calmed down. We're going to be taking the cloud data center offline. The next time you attempt to log in, it's going to prompt you. It was going to play an ad there. I was like, no. Okay. But I expected the cloud data center to go offline and then prompt you at next time you log in, just going, this server no longer exists, you're going to need to pick a new data center, which is essentially a free transfer. But maybe they just don't have the ability to facilitate that outside of the MOG station settings. But I guess that's just what I expected. I wasn't expecting another data center because the addition of new servers, this is the reason why I wasn't expecting this. The addition of new servers, specifically for the launch of an expansion, which has happened in the past, has left those servers in a precarious state. It should be noted that during Shadowbringers and Endwalker, they used money and effort to get new hardware for the servers. Also, JP servers are again getting a hardware update soon. That's very true. But it's not only about that. These new servers that they brought in around the time of an expansion launch still have a fairly bare bones community mix and infrastructure compared to an older server like Phoenix. So some of these servers still have a lot less players than servers like this one does. They do incentives for transferring over to these servers. Like, a lot of these servers got a great resurgence when the restoration of the firmament, whatever it was called, was around. People transferred to newer servers specifically for that event. So that was brilliant in that regard. Those servers actually got an influx of people because of that. Housing is another, but housing is a lot easier to come by now. We've reached the point where there's always going to be vacant housing. Like, Phoenix is a very populated server, and even it has vacant housing. So everybody can get a house that they want to. So it's just, I just hope it doesn't happen again, that we're going to get these servers and they're going to be left in a bare bones state because of the nature of what it is, really. There's a new server's got the road to 70 or road to 80 buff depending on the expansion originally is incentive. Yeah, that's correct as well. They also got they got a lot of incentives, and you got feathers as well for getting items, I think, for transferring to those servers. But that's fine for the beginning. A couple of months down the line, those servers are in a precarious state. But this is not just the server this time. Like, those servers were able to recover because they had the rest of their data center to take care of them. This is a brand new data center. And they're not getting old servers. They're getting 3 brand new servers. They're not getting a populated server moved over like what happened with Chaos and Light. When they split, populated servers went to one or the other. It's not happening this time. So I have no idea what this new data center is going to look like once it launches. I imagine people are going to welcome the challenge. They're going to fly over to the new data center and just go, okay, new start. I actually thought about it myself a long time ago, before I decided to join my friends on Phoenix. I swear Chaos is worse off than Light. Cassidy has a point as well. A lot of people are of the opinion that Chaos is a lot worse off than Light is, and you're even saying in the chat as well that it's not as well. And Dynamis for NA as well, exactly. And Oceania is not doing as well as it should be. So they need to do it right. I don't feel like they're doing it right. I don't feel like this is the best idea. If they were giving this data center a populated server, I might feel different. But if I was on that populated server and I was getting thrown into a new data center, I'd be severely pissed off. So I suppose they couldn't do that without upsetting people. Either way, whatever they're going to do, they're going to upset people. But I still think adding servers to the existing data center is probably one of the best way. I'm assuming there's a reason they can't do it. Constraints. There's always constraints when it comes to hardware. So I hope it works. That's all. I just really hope it works. For the people who play on those servers, I hope it works. Because we've seen how new servers struggle and still struggle today because of this, in terms of markets, in terms of the prime thing is the what's the I haven't done it in so long. What's the hotkey for you can tell I haven't done Party Finder in a long time. I hate Party Finder. I'll just find it here. I'll just maybe there's not a hotkey for Party Finder has been the primary thing. So Party Finder suffers a lot more on Chaos, for example, than it does on Light. And people hop across data centers in order to utilize the content found on another data center. So that's going to happen a lot more once we have the ability to hop onto other data centers in different continents as well. Who cares about the ping? They're not going to care. But if a cross-server DC or Pathfinder ever happened, you should see the Dynamis situation solved. In large way, yes, it should be solved. But for example, like, I'll bring up our Party Finder again. The Party Finder on Light is fairly active. Like, there's a few hundred parties doing a bunch of different things here. A lot of raids, a lot of ultimates. A lot of players from Chaos, though, will jump over to Light specifically in order to do the content on our data center. But this leaves their own data center in a precarious situation because not as many people are advertising for groups, and it also means that there's not as many people to join those groups as well. I remember this happening a long time ago. I'm not sure if it's still the case now, but I remember people talking about this months ago, that this was an issue because people kept transferring data centers instead of just doing the content on their own data center. Half of my static is from Chaos, and they transferred to Light to play on our prog. That's fine for a static. What? When it comes to a Party Finder, it just makes the other data center's Party Finder more barren. And in terms of Party Finders, Lights is in a much more healthy condition. People just by default, I think nowadays, just transfer from Chaos to Light. It's a brain drain scenario. I've never heard that before. A brain drain scenario. I can see where you're coming from in that regard. Yeah. It's just people are just going, oh, the Party Finder on Light is better. Let's just transfer over there. Instead of transferring servers, we'll jump over there for the day. utilize their party finder for our content that we need, then transfer back. Fine, I guess. I mean, that's what it's there for. Hey, Darkness. But yeah, I think I've gone too far into that now. I never liked party finder. I don't like party finder. It's Aether, Light, Materia, or Bust. Yeah, essentially, like, people have data centers that they go to for content. And it's just a trend that's developed. Like, if somebody's on Chaos and can tell me how big their party finder is at the moment, I'll be interested. I remember when I could do content to Behemoth. Good times. I'm assuming what, you can't do content to Behemoth anymore. But that's happening a lot. That's happening with a lot of servers. But I have a feeling, because this data center is going to be entirely isolated, that the players who play on this new data center are not going to bother utilizing their own party finder. They're just going to transfer to Light and Chaos and use their party finders. So this data center is going to be hitting the ground with broken legs. It's going to jump out of a plane, hit the ground, break its legs, and it's going to hobble along until its legs heal, which will be a long time, in my opinion. So I'm worried. I'm honestly worried about this new data center. We'll see what happens. They could close off both CCs for new players for a while. That's also true. They could also lock down transfers from one data center to the other. They've done it before. So that's entirely possible as well. But that can only last for so long. It would allow the server to get on its feet first. But how long is that going to last? Like, after the first couple of weeks? And then as people start plowing through Arcadian and all the other content, they're just going to jump over. Hello, Kexel. I don't see it working out long term unless this expansion fixes the retention drop Endwalker has had, or feels like it had. Well, to be honest, every expansion felt like that. Like, you get so many people jumping in, and then you get so many people leaving right after they finish the content. Like, they're not all like us. We stick around. Most people don't. They'll do the content they want to do, and then they, for lack of a better word, feck off. But I think OCP wants the Duty Finder to be cross data center one way or anyways, one day. Yeah, true, he does. He wants, that's the dream. That's the light at the end of the tunnel, is cross server everything. The ability, like, that data centers don't necessarily matter anymore. That's the end goal. That data centers don't necessarily matter. If you can't find content where you are, you jump to a different data center and find it there. Maybe you're awake in the middle of the night, you can't find content in your own data center, you transfer over to NA or JP or wherever you're going, you get your content done. That's the end game. But it still means that in the growth spurt, we're still getting to that point. It's still going to be a rocky road. A friend of mine proposed that they may be trying to use the cloud DCs to create mega data centers where all the worlds in a region would be one giant one and the party finders and duty finder would just be conglomerate. Yeah, there's an IT term for that. I can't remember what it is, but it's utilizing a technology that's already utilized in modern day businesses. It's just utilizing for an MMORPG. So it's definitely possible. I can't remember what the term was exactly. But the technology does exist. They're already developing it. So they're well on their way to actually making that a reality. What is the term? I can't remember what it is. It exists in banks. I just can't remember what it's called. I'll probably think of it in a minute. But I suppose just to go back to the conversation I was having earlier with everybody in regards to the latest wave of DDoS attacks. I suppose I'm still just worried about this in terms of Dawntrail, because Dawntrail is going to be a literal disaster if the DDoS attacks continue up to that stage. And it's going to mar the launch entirely. It's going to be very, very tricky to get this done. As I've already talked about this already, so I'm not going to talk all about it again. But they need They need to get the finger out now before the expansion. The players would just DDoS the server anyway. That's true. See, that's technically like... I've already mentioned this, right? The moment the expansion launches, it's like a legal DDoS attack. You're getting traffic hitting your servers from all over the world. It's not an intentional, like, it's an unintentional denial of service. That's what it is when an expansion launches. It's an unintentional denial of service. Because everybody's trying to log in at the same time, and not everybody can, and the servers are taxed to their limits. But at the same time that that's happening, what if these people that are currently launching the DDoS attacks launch their denial of service? It's gonna cause everything to just fall apart. Like, I've never seen so many DDoS attacks on FF14 in such a short space of time. DDoS attacks are nothing, I've already mentioned this, DDoS attacks on FF14 are nothing new. DDoS attacks on this game have been happening since 2.0, since 1.0. People were so pissed off at 1.0, they actually DDoSed the servers. But the ones lately are just very consistent. Like, remember what I said here earlier? There was a DDoS attack yesterday. There was one the day before. The day before that, day before that, day before that. And then you have a few days where it didn't happen. It's just worrying. I just really hope they get the finger out and get this resolved. But they're not going to be able to resolve this on their own. Square Enix is the victim in this case. They need professionals in order to do this. And as I've already mentioned, there's firms who are specially there to deal with these sort of situations. And they will track down whoever did it and give the information to the likes of Interpol, because whoever it is likely foreign. We don't know who they are. They could be anywhere. Their traffic's likely coming from everywhere. Illegal DDoSes, we're calling it for this scenario, tends to behave differently than say how the servers were behaving during Raubon EX. Raubon EX? Oh yeah. Well, that was different. The Raubon EX, or the Raubon wall as people call it as well, the queue. The queue was caused because it was a fault, it was a design flaw, for lack of a better word. Because the queue that manages duty finders and dungeons and stuff like that also shares a queue with people who are going into their own cutscenes and doing their own fights, their own duty fights. I think it's still designed like that, but the queue is much larger now. So these instances all shared the same queue, but so many people were doing these fights with Raubon that nobody else could actually get a proper duty queue. So the game was still running perfectly fine. It's just the queue for the duty finder was, or the duties was full. The instances, was no more instances. SE decided to make new classes and instances as well. Like, most things are instances these days. Like the duties we go into for our personal MSQs are instances as well. But there weren't enough instances in that regard. So that's why Raubon EX happened. I miss those memes as well. Like, that was a great day. Do you remember that day? Like, do you remember? I'm pretty sure I was on Phoenix when it happened. So, and it happened on a lot of servers. They all started queuing up. So you'd have Raubon standing there, and then there's a giant queue forming out into the distance. And I'm like, you guys are seriously queuing, expecting this to work? This is a data center thing, not a server thing. And I'm just like, they're seriously in a queue standing there, not clicking on this fucking NPC. And I'm just like, oh. I mean, I love you, but I hate you. Why are you doing this to yourself? Oh, that was a funny time. Although I remember that day. I think I've already talked about this before. Let me go back to that zone real quick. I've talked about this before, I think. Where is it? Ralgar's Reach. Do I remember the Susano bug? Vaguely. Cassie, can you elaborate on that? I can vaguely remember it. I'm fairly certain I do. Oh no, I'm in the wrong location. Oh, I think I remember it. I just stayed up till like 3 a.m. to get past it. Yeah, well, Kexel, we're not all you. I'm not as young as you are, Kexel, so... You can do that. I can't do that. So, yeah. Where was it? It was down here, wasn't it? So, it was down by the bridge. Yeah, it was right here, wasn't it? He was standing right here, I think, or just around here. So, Red One was here, and then the queue was like up here, all the way, snaking along the road, ending around here, or even up towards the bridge. No, that queue was ridiculous. It just snaked up the road. And I'm just like, you guys are hurting yourselves by standing in this damn queue. But also, it was probably the most enjoyable expansion launch I had. Because the moment I realized that this was happening, and I looked it up and I was just like, okay, the instant queues are not getting through. With this many people doing it, I'm not going to be able to do this. So I decided to go off and do something else, which is what most of the area did. So, literally what most of the area did on our server. Yep, that's what I'm going to talk about now in a second as well. So everybody started doing fates in my area. So people were running back and forth in this small area, doing the small amount of fates that we had access to. And I loved every second of it. This was like herds of hundreds of people running from fate to fate to fate to fate to fate. And then, as Cassie just mentioned there, an A rank spawned. And people are like, let's kill the A rank. And I went up for it as well. So it was around here, if I recall correctly. It was in the river. And keep in mind, this thing's max level. We're not. So this thing proceeded, like, it had hundreds of players going after it. But this thing was jumping from one end of the river to the other, killing everybody, and then resetting itself, and then killing people again. This thing murdered hundreds of players. And I loved every second of it. So that was probably one of the most memorable things that ever happened to me in this game, was this A rank fight. In this river. And it's slaughtering everybody. I think I died twice to that damn thing. Like, the tanks couldn't last against it. And it was just jumping around like a mad thing, killing everybody. So that was a fun time. I missed that time. But we all did that primarily because we were stuck. We were stuck in this small area doing fates because we couldn't get past Raubon. Or people were in the other area doing fates. So, did one spawn by Raubon as well? That'd be interesting. Susano bug happened because if you were in a persistent emote like sits or now I remember. Okay. Yeah. I think I remember that happening to me once. I think. Yeah. I think I remember that now. Oh, it was so long ago though. I can vaguely remember it. Oh, yeah, that was an interesting time. That was weird. I can remember it happening, but very vaguely. My memory's failing me. But yeah, I do remember it vaguely, very vaguely. It's more this part of Stormblood sticks in my mind more than anything else. And Raubon standing here taunting us. And all the memes. Like, the memes were getting churned out in record pace. Even I made a meme. I think I still have my meme. Where's my meme? Hang on. I made a meme specifically about this. It's probably one of the first FF14 memes I ever made. I saw it at the corner of my eye a while ago. While I was looking through images. I'll probably find it one day. I'll find it when I least expect it. I know I will. Or maybe it's in. Because I categorize all my images and stuff like that. So, created illustrations, maybe. Damn it! I don't know where it is. There was like a million memes though. Let me look up the... Hang on. I'm sure they exist. I'm sure they're still there. Yeah, so I made a meme very similar to this. With Gandalf and Raubon's head stuck in them. Just like, you shall not pass. Oh, that's not it. No. Where's the one with the... But yeah, that's the queue. That queue was ridiculous. Oh, I still can't believe people did that. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Raubon Extreme Verge, now featured in Stormblood. Yeah, they got churned out so well. There was one of my favorites though. I need to find it now. Particularly about the lion. It was definitely my favorite meme that had me cackling constantly. I'm sure if I do this, I'm pretty sure it was the Spartan meme. Like with Leonidas holding the shield, just trying to prevent him or something like that. Or I can't remember. Damn it. Damn it. I can't remember what that meme was. I'll find it later and I'll post it somewhere. But still. That queue. That damn queue. Okay. It was a bug that was fixed within days, so the game only dumps you in those places when you clear the fight for the first time. Pretty information. Denmo. I'm assuming that's a content creator. Maybe I should start getting versed in content creators, because I don't know who any of them are. 2007. Oh, why did you say that? It wasn't 2017, was it? What year are we in again? 24? Stop making me feel old. I feel old enough already, thank you. No, I don't want to know how old I am. Leave me alone. Wait. What, this Wednesday? What do you mean? Married in game since 2015. Oh, okay. Okay. I think I've personally been married since 2016, but although I don't think the game considers me married anymore. I still have the ring. I think. Or I had the ring. So I had the ring. I think I'm still considered married, but I transferred servers and now I don't know if the game thinks I'm married but not married. $26 of the 4th. I'll get you an anniversary gift. Don't worry. 17, 18, 19 was Stormblood. Wait, really? 2019 was Stormblood? Oh yeah, and then Shadowbringers came out in 19. Oh god. See, this is I blame lockdowns for this, because everything before 2020 just feels like a blur. And you feel older than you actually are. And the game came out in like 2013. 2.0 anyway. 2.45 was when Eternal Bond got added, which was 2014. Yeah. I don't know when I got married. I think your rings are supposed to show you when you got married, right? I just don't have my ring anymore. I'm very certain to have it. It's probably just lying in a chest or something. But your ring shows your date, doesn't it? Yeah, so it shows your anniversary now. Oh, search rhyme. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so it's on rough. Let me see how long I've been married. Okay, that's Alright, I'll go to Limsa. I'll be a masochist. I'll go to Limsa. I don't think mine shows my date anymore, because it got weirded out by not getting divorced, transferring servers. I forgot I turned performances back on. I don't play this music for one reason. They play music that is so close to the originals that it sets off the YouTube algorithm. I've gotten copyright strikes for this shit before. Nearly lost my channel because of this. So I never put performances on anymore. That was a lapse on my part. Okay. Rough Bean, there you are. Okay. There's my ring. Okay, so 31st of... Oh! So I was married in this month. Okay. 31st of the 5th, 2015. So our dates are not actually far apart. Just 5 days apart. But... I should really take that out. I should carry that around me. I'll carry it around me. I'm also now reminded, why do I have nameplates enabled? I prefer nameplates to be enabled. I need to be able to see everybody. That recent addition of having the class next to a nameplate as well is so good. Oh wait, you're talking about something different, aren't you? You're talking about this, are you? Yeah, so... You have your shortened, yeah. I tried shortened, it started making me have to think harder than I wanted to think about people's names. To be honest. It's supposed to make it easier, it made it harder for me. Right, I'm gonna do this to myself. I'm gonna turn the music on for a minute. And pray to the long deceased gods that this is not gonna hurt. Modern music. I don't understand it. Modern music. I mean, I like the music system in this game. I don't like the fact that... If you've ever wondered why there's not much of this on YouTube, or if you're wondering why a lot of streams don't... Well, it's mostly streams that do this, but there's not many YouTube videos about this sort of content, primarily because it sets off the YouTube algorithm. As I've already mentioned, I nearly lost my channel. I got 2 strikes on my channel because of music like this from a Christmas video. And I proceeded to live under a rock for the next 6 months, not using anything even remotely close to music that could be copyrighted in order for those copyright strikes to disappear. It was the biggest relief of my life when those things disappeared. But yeah, they're not allowed to post this sort of thing anymore either. That's true. And then you have these freaking things that are still going out. But yeah, this sort of stuff is dangerous. I started my channel by going to events like this. So I used to do a combination of lore and in-game events. I still go to in-game events, but I never record them anymore. Primarily because I nearly lost my channel. So, wait, Soken even asked people not to post it? Okay, that makes sense. So, but that just goes to show, like, the developers are against it, but also the YouTube algorithm will kill you for posting it. Like, I nearly died. So, nearly took my channel away. I was 1 strike away from losing my channel. That's the scariest stuff ever. Let's go see how Gridania is doing. Gridania is usually more mellow. Kind of. In the words of Zuko, that's a rough buddy. Who's Zuko? Dang kids and their bops for their rocks. Kexel, you're a kid and you love your bops for your rocks. Don't lie. Yeah, see, everybody's more mellow in Gridania. They also wear a lot less in Gridania. Nobody does performances or anything else. Ooh. Nice glam. Love that glam. I ain't young. I'm 31 now. You're young, Shop. 31 is young. If you're younger than me, you're young. Zip it. Come to me when you start having back problems, Gex, okay? I'm already bored of Gridania, to be honest. I want to go to Ulda. Ulda's my home. Ulda's my home away from home. All hail the Sultana. I suppose that's the last thing I do want to talk about. Gridania is nice in Time Sync, but I prefer my Lalafels are here and the Sultan is here. I should talk about that as well, actually. That's why the FC house. The FC house is in the perfect location, Casty. I'll show everybody the FC house in a minute. In regards to my channel at the moment, I've been making a lot of older content. Honestly, because I prefer older content that is not going to be retconned or added to anymore. It's usually the safe bet for adding content for videos that are going to last for a long time. Because I really disliked it when I made a video and then it was either retconned or lore was added to it, and then all of a sudden my video was redundant. It kind of happened with my last video of the Ultimate Project, but I was so happy when I made the Ultimate Project video and people had a great reception to the Ultimate Project, and then the new encyclopedia brought out the details of the Ultimate Project and my video was like 95% on point. There was just a couple of details that it then clarified, but it was all the details that I said in the video we weren't sure about, so it was open for interpretation and elaboration on in the future. So that's the reason I make older content videos, but I'm also realizing that not a lot of people like older content videos, so I've been trying to make newer content as well, which is why I've started making more Shadowbringer content. But as I've already said, I specifically wanted to make Shadowbringer content after the encyclopedia launched because I wanted the clarification of the encyclopedia before I made them. And it's a good thing as well, because if I made my video about the first before the encyclopedia, I would have got a lot of things wrong, because the encyclopedia did clarify on a lot of things. Obviously you need to wait for the game to die before you can make videos. No, there's channels for that already, sorry. I think there's a, what's that channel called? Nerd Slayer that does dead MMOs. I don't like watching that channel. Well, I do and I don't. Primarily because he covers a lot of MMOs that I used to play. So I don't like looking at these MMOs that I used to play that are now dead. And I'm just like, sad face. To be honest, Shadowbringers was a time a lot of people joined and will remember the best. That's true as well, like, the influx of people for Shadowbringers was actually a lot bigger than Stormblood. Like, the game was starting to get popular in The Realm Reborn. Realm Reborn wasn't as popular as people thought it was. It was popular with the people who were already fans of 14. It only really started to take off with Heaven's Ward, continued with Stormblood, and then exploded in Shadowbringers. So it was already growing. It's never not shrank. That's the good thing about 14. 14 has just gone from strength to strength. It hasn't shrunk. And hopefully it doesn't. But not every game. Every game doesn't last forever. Like, look at WoW. WoW grew from strength to strength to strength, and then they shot themselves in the foot. But that's primarily the developer's fault. But luckily 14 has the developer that we need and we deserve. So there's that. I'm running around in circles doing nothing. I really need to do something. Okay, is there anything else I wanted to talk about? I think I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to talk about. I've covered the DDOS attacks, which are pissing me off. Hopefully they don't continue. I've talked about Dawntrail. I think I'll just run something else while I think about it then, just to see. Wait, why isn't everything... Oh, I'm still wearing my old gear. Okay. There we go. Jeez, that HP difference. Okay. I'm hoping with Yoshi coming out and saying, even if he's finding content a bit boring recently, that we get back to some fun. I know we won't get bits back... Yeah, he said that a while ago, that he's going to... What was it he said? He was going to make the game more difficult, or the plot more surprise, like jump, jump, jump. Like, I can remember A Realm Reborn more fondly because of the plot twists and the surprises and stuff like that. We haven't gotten as many surprises like that recently. Yeah, he wants to try and move away from 1, 2, 3. She said it exactly as it said there. Moving away from 1 to 2 to 3. Just adding a bit of mystery in, telling the proper story. I don't remember this person. Wait, who is this? Oh, that's the what the hell are they called again? The NPC that's added every few years. With the what are they called? Yokai Watch. Thank you very much. Okay, I haven't done Yokai Watch since it was first came out. It came out first. I did it all, and I haven't touched it ever since. So it's just like, I mean, I get why they're added because new players need to do them as well. That's fine, but they could have added an extra thing, like a little sum, you know. I'm sorry, dear, you're a bit too lolly for my taste. Alright. Oh. I was gonna call her Shadow. Okay, Gaia. Okay. Go to Gold Saucer, spend 20k since I already did the first year. I'm not touching that event with a foot pole. Barge pole. Rue. Barge pole. Not touching it with a barge pole. Alright, I'm gonna do something else just while we wait. Maybe we should do an alliance raid. Maybe. I kind of want to do something where my brain is half on, half off. I haven't done a guild heist. I haven't done a guild heist in ages. Let's do a guild heist. Like, speaking of content that was made for A Realm Reborn and just abandoned on the wayside on the side of a motorway, and your parents drove away from you. That's guild heists. But to be fair, they were made to get people familiar with the fundamentals of healing, fundamentals of DPS, fundamentals of tanking, fundamentals of status conditions, and like, it's a good tutorial. That's what it's designed for. But yeah, it's just a neglected child. They should have added to it with new types of AoEs, new types of like, because the new fights we get, they add some new spices every once in a while. The guild heist should have been there to give us a bit of exposure to some of those as well, especially for new players. I wouldn't have minded that because it's just sitting there like a neglected child. Yeah, it's weird. I'm surprised it's still around. What's the point of it? And it's the queue has... Oh, okay. I was just saying the queue didn't pop, and then it popped. Okay. Oh, this is an easy one. Okay. Slay the Blockman. Or the Bachman. Which is a Dulan. Okay. Oh, they're all green. The stronger of your allies we was to draw the enemy's attention away from the weaker. See, it's the novice center thing before the novice center thing, and they die within 10 seconds. So it's designed to teach tanks about tanking. So your man's tanking, but this sort of content is severely powercraft as well, because they used to take a lot longer. I mean, 500 seals, I won't say no to 500 seals. So, but still. Yeah, thank you again, Nathan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Thank you. But yeah. That's literally that. Like, oh, that poor piece of content. It's like Fates in a lot of ways. People just forget about them. Sad face. That's what I should do. I should do a few fates. I'm gonna do a few fates, yeah? Yeah, fates are good because of gemstones. See, the thing is, I did all of the whatchamacallits. I did all the shared fates, like week 1 and 2. So, I already got that one done, and I got that one done as well within the first couple of weeks. Primarily when the interest was there, when everybody was doing fates, because I love fates so much, and when everybody's doing fates at the same time, brilliant. I love it. You're saving for the mount? That mount is so expensive. I don't think I'd be able to save it. But to be honest, I've bought most of what I can actually buy with gemstones. So I might have no choice but to save for the mount. I'm going to go to where I assume people are going to do fates. I'll do a few fates and then I think I'll pack up. That place reminds me of, do you think we're going to have something related to Galmora and Dawntrail? Maybe a deep dungeon. I think they said they were adding another deep dungeon, weren't they? To be honest, they added the latest deep dungeon. It was there and then it was quickly forgotten. At least from my experience. People still do it. But people didn't find it as interesting as the other one. Because it's the worst one, yeah. People don't have as high an opinion as they do about Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High. It seems to miss something. I still need to do these quests. I usually do these in the run-up to a new expansion. But primarily because I'm recording information about them as well, so I do them slowly. It was around this point where I was doing all the quests while I was leveling up. And then I was realizing I was running out of time, so I decided to steamroll through the main story. Oh, I'm looking for a fate, though. There's no fates. The closest we've gotten to Galmora and Rodden 14 was the Ratika and Ronka content in Shadowbringers. Because those zones were called Galmora internally with development. That's true, like if you think about it. Oh, you want to do fates with me? Okay. Stalker. Okay, we'll do a few fates. You've been here all evening, yeah. True. That's what a stalker would say, Casty. That's what a stalker would say. That's what they say in the anime. I've been there all along. That's what they say. Of course they do. That's what they say before they kill you. Yeah. Chat log's gonna be fabricated. There's no fates here. Where the hell are the fates? The entire giant freaking area and there's not a single fate. Ah, there's fate. Okay. This area really annoys me about Elpish, you know? This area was so underutilized. Like... Right, correct me if I'm wrong, right? But does anybody remember in the main story what this arboretum looking thing was utilized for? I think it was utilized as a stop while we were hunting down somebody. But I think after that, it was only utilized for that. Like, we never got this area utilized for anything. I think we stopped in there once. But correct me if I'm wrong. It was never utilized. Alright, I'll come help you now. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, is this the raid you've been talking about? These people that are running around like lemmings doing all this content. Well, they seem to be tearing through it rather efficiently, so... The objective is accomplished already. Why am I still killing these things? There we go. And I have 9 of them. Thank you, Casty. I literally had to do nothing. I literally did nothing. Okay. But, yeah, as I was saying, I honestly do not remember visiting this Arboretum thing in the main story. I think we stopped once around here and then we left it. I think we came here, we picked something up and then we left. Nothing about the fact that these morables are here or anything else. It's just here. It doesn't do anything. I hate when this happens though. I hate when you get zones like this and they have little things like this that they should be interesting, but they're never elaborated on. Like we have places in this zone as well that are interesting that are never elaborated on as well. Like that, and then more stuff. And we're out of fates again. Okay, yeah, this... You'd think with a zone this gigantic it would have more fates. It does. It usually has loads of fates. There's just no fates right now. So I suppose we just have to optimally just go to the middle of the area. Just so we can run to it. So I'm assuming you're around here. Most just hop between here and Duel. Yeah, that's true. As I've said a million times though, I love Fates for a few reasons. I love grinding. Grinding is something that it's in my DNA. I've been playing MMOs for a very long time. I played MMOs back when MMOs were such a heavy grind. Why did you invite Kexel here? You stalking me as well, Kexel? I mean, I know you love me, Kexel, but yeah. You're coming on a bit strong there, my friend. Here you go. You happy? That was the cap, not me. Okay. There's still no bloody fates. But yeah, I love fates for the grind, first of all. But fates are the lore of a zone. So, the stuff that the main story doesn't tell us, a fate will tell us. So, if a fate spawns in that area, it gives us a bit of information about that area. So, it's one of the only ways we can actually get proper lore about a zone. PTSD, Sun Bear Fate. I remember that fate. That was a good fate. Still waiting on that bear fruit in the Dravanian ruins. Oh, yeah, that fate sucked. The Dravanian fates are a bit weird as well. And that big turtle one as well. The what's it? The mantoise, the dragon thing. Still kills a lot of people. They numb the parents. Oh, these things. I really wish they elaborated on these things as well. Like, you don't really get much information. They're supposed to be, like... I assume they're an ancestor of the trend. But... you don't really get much info on them. Like, a lot of mobs were added to this zone and the other zones. They're literally there for 5 seconds. Like, there was those snake mobs that we killed early in order to get materials needed for our elegant or our ancient robes, and then you never see them again. Alright, that was quick. The yellow quest gives some lore too. Yeah, I've been picking through the yellow quest as much as I can. I've done the important ones, I just need to do the rest of them. Oh yeah, the Yumpass. I've killed him before, I think. I haven't fought an S rank in a while, to be honest. High 5 tree. Wait, what? Oh yeah, it is like a high 5. It's a high 5 tree. That's cool. I like that. High 5. High 5 tree. Oh, it's all the way up the other side of the arena. Oh yeah, okay. Of course it is. Off we go. Uridike, all bark, no bite. See, a lot of the references, I just don't get a lot of the references. So, in case you don't know, Fates have references to popular culture. Most of them do. I mean, I've heard of all bark, no bite, but erudite, all bark, no bite, I don't get. EU or what? EU or Y dyke. It was a character in Greek mythology and the Eldenod wife of Orpheus, whom Orpheus tried to bring back from the dead with his enchanting music. Okay. Yes, I know, Casty, you don't like puns, I get it. Oh, okay, I get it now, I remember this one, yeah. This is not a monster that's been used a million times. It's also dying extraordinarily quickly. It's also bigger than the boss. Like, I remember this boss in the Void Ark. It wasn't as big. But Erudite, dissatisfied with the meager meals provided in her captivity, has broken free of her enclosure in search of fodder richer in protein. Would-be gardeners beware, should it be undertaken by one of insufficient skill, the necessary pruning will prove deadly. Everything just seems to break out of its enclosure in Elvis. That's the funny thing about Elvis. Ancient stuff is a veritable feast for Greek nerds. That's very true. Like, it's the Greeks were definitely the primary inspiration for the ancients. Just like the Roman Empire was one of the primary influences of the development of the Gallian Empire. It's most games in popular culture will do that. They'll use real world references in order to create their worlds. Dungeons and Dragons did it originally, didn't it? Oh, this guy, yeah, the guy who makes weird stuff, yeah. Here, have some nans. There you go. Yeah. I love how they all conjure like that. Like, they're not just spawning. See, he's actually just spawning them in himself. So all the lightning's coming down in order to spawn them in. So he's literally using creation magic just to constantly spawn them in. Which is interesting, isn't it? Or I'm not sure if he's using creation magic to spawn them in. Rather... No, I think he's using creation magic to just create them on the spot. He's not teleporting them somewhere. Very well done, familiar. And thank you. I can sense great thoughts about to form any moment now. Oh yeah, so he's responding to something else, isn't he? Nothing ignites imagination quite like a row. To that end, I shall pit you against an altogether different creature. Okay, we remember that, yeah, okay. Wait, he didn't register this. Thaliak's original incarnation, what was his name? He created something like this before he created the Behemoth, wasn't it? Or maybe it's a variation of that one. Maybe they're all variations of variations. I mean, Hitlerdeus did say people were constantly submitting new sharks every day. Every little sharks. But I suppose that could be the reason. It's nice having so many people doing face though, because you can literally just brain dead it. Oh, there's enough right there. You hurt my researcher. Prepare to die. I get that reference. You killed my father. Prepare to die. What was his name again? Inegro Montoya? My name is Inegro Montoya. It was something like that. Something similar to that. Prepare to die. A group of purple serfs is on the lam, following a grisly attack on a researcher. What does on the lamb mean again? On the diet? On the... Yeah, because they're bony, they're all skinny. With your impeachable sense of justice, will no doubt find these beasts and make them pay. Okay, so they escaped, they ate someone, and they were left to roam around until we just happened to come by to do it. I swear to God, the researchers of Elpis are lazy fuckers. A lot of them just don't give a shit. Oh, it released. It ate a person. Oh, who cares? Just like, eventually someone will show up to deal with it. Oh, you gotta love this place. But then again, we're in a laboratory, so... They seem to use the language the same way we use Latin, not as a lingual, but also the concept of people. Yeah, they don't give a shit. They're like... The ancients seem to be cut off from a certain aspect of the emotional spectrum. Or they just... What is it? No, they don't have proper empathy. Empathy is something that they just severely lack, because they think everything is below them. Which... Shit. A tale as old as time, really, isn't it? Medusa. In some far-flung corner of Elpis, Medusae are proliferated to a degree far beyond anyone's expectations. Now this down the vipers is sent upon the land and must be dealt with. Fair enough. Head crabs, that's the word. And what was the name of Minotaurs again? Oh, they were just Minotaurs. Elpis Minotaur. They didn't give it a unique name. Sad face. And that fate ended all too quickly. Right, I suppose I should talk about one more topic before we finish. Because, frankly, my throat's getting very dry. And I'm getting hungry. And, also, it's starting to get dark. So I want to see if I can see the Northern Lights. Because I missed it last night. What topic did I want to talk about? Let me see. I've pretty much talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Blimp. No, I'll be covering airships in a different video casting. There's not really else I need to talk about until the live letter. Because the live letter is going to give us a lot of information. It's not going to give us lore information. But it's going to give us info nonetheless. And it's the info, frankly, that most of the game population wants. Have you got the day off? What do you mean got the day off? It's Saturday. Huh? Oh, no, I'm going to work from home during the live hour. So, I may as well have the day off. So, I'll be in chat watching the live letter along with everybody else. So, that's going to be good. Can't wait for that. And you got your shift off. Everybody's getting days off, even for live letters. But the live letters are so long. They're like 6 hours long. Usually. Oh, I need to close the stream there. Woo! Okay. I feel like we've even less info on the story and potential story this time around in Nemwalker. But that's rude. That makes sense. Primarily because the story, the plot is brand new. With the other ones, we knew what was coming. To a degree. But we haven't had a real setup for Dawntrail other than the last 6.55. So we don't really have that much info, just as Cassie said there as well. So it's a blank slate, almost. But that's what we wanted. We wanted... This is our newfound adventure. Like... This is us doing... It's a Realm Reborn 3.0. Essentially, like, everything's gonna feel shiny and new. Oh, these things, yeah. We never got an answer about these damn things. It's not the first time we've seen this either. Because we saw one of these in the Academia, didn't we? So these things obviously still existed. Yeah, the Ander dungeon, yeah, but we never got an answer exactly what they are. Like, it looks like part slug, part vinegaroon, part... I mean, in terms of models, it shares a model with the vinegaroon. But other than that, it's just an unknown. It's just eyeballs on... It's a T-Rex with 10 eyeballs. Not that they're not cool. I mean, they sound cool. Listen to that. It's just like... And they sound like genuine dinosaurs. Listen to them. Listen to this stuff. Like, other mobs don't sound that detailed. You know that? If you listen to a bunch of lambs attacking you, they don't sound as detailed. These things sound amazing. I mean, these things should have showed up during the final fight. Some very Oh, there's another one after this, isn't there? I'm wondering if it's a way to environmentally hint that the time from Elba's events when the Sundering wasn't that long, so they did not have time to name them properly. Probably, but don't forget this was a testing ground as well. They wanted to test anything and everything, which is why this guy is literally spawning the hecatoncheires over here. The Cyclops. Here, take her, not me. Take her, not me. Take her, not me. She's really subbing that thing. Oh, I forgot. Some of us have intro from. Hey, that's my joke though. That reminds me of the good old days when raid bosses used to target fairies or summoner minions, or summoning minions counted in stack AoEs and stuff like that. Like, do you remember Trintanian? When she did a stack AoE, your minions counted. So if you had a carbuncle or something like that, they'd tank it with you, which is always cool. Titan Eggy best tank for remove. Oh, that was a great one as well. People tanking remove with them as well was always great. Did the group split up, or did we lose people? Butterfly Kisses of Death. I think that's a movie reference, isn't it? Kiss of Death. Really be leveling something here, but I'm not really. A murder of Phanopses has descended, and they've a taste for. Jeez, I can't read. They have a taste for flesh. Now it's either kill or be killed, and you would rather be doing the killing like as not. You're not wrong. I had real trouble pronouncing Phanopses. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that word. There's certain words I just can't pronounce. Like, in my last video that I did on the first, I pronounced the Vi as Vi. Right? But in game they're pronounced as V. But originally, let me finish this first. Originally I was gonna pronounce them as V. However, when I had to do it for pronouncing multiple V's, which is V's, my speech impediment went out of control. So when I tried to say V's, it's like V's. So as much as my speech impediment has lessened, I can't say vis without sounding like a parcel tongue. So I had to say vi. So I just said Vi for the video. I was expecting somebody to call me out just going, it's not Vi, it's Vis. And I'm just like, okay, sorry, but I have an excuse. I just couldn't say the word properly without sounding like Salador Slytherin. Right, I'll do a couple more fates and then I'll call it a night. Oh, look at that view. I'm still amazed by Elpis' views, you know? That's the good stuff. It's basically the name for a genus of bug that is now outdated because of biology field advancements. That makes a lot of sense. I should really be down there. Oh, I never get to do this. When you cut your mount, it cuts the engines, falls to his death. Thunderbirds are good. A herd of Karanui is attempting to bring thunderclouds out of the sky, threatening to destabilize the weather. Defeat the Thunderhead Karanui to ensure there's no... They're all spawning out of nowhere though. You notice that? It's not like the other one. Or maybe that was just that sound effect. Godreal, you're very knowledgeable of this stuff, I have to say. Oh, I got a bunch of... Oh, he got a bunch of scouts. That's another thing. I miss item drops, you know that? I miss item drops from mobs being or meaning something. Like, when you get this, like, Kexel got this handful of Pedaloga scales. I'm sure if I right click it, there's a recipe to use it. Yeah, there is a recipe to use it, but there's not nearly enough reagents and stuff like that that drop from mobs that are utilized. It's really underutilized, and I don't like that. It's like the potion system. Potions are... Yeah, you discarded it. How dare you? You should have sold it on the market board for 10 guild kegs. But that's my point. That's exactly what somebody does. They pick up something like that and they'll discard it. Items mean almost nothing to players within this game anymore. Like in other games, you pick up a crafting material, it's like, oh, that's brilliant. Let's get that somewhere and we'll get that sold now. In this game, they're not utilized nearly enough for anything, really. Right, this is the last bit, right? Because my throat is getting raw. Is this the one where the two sides are fighting? Yeah, the Minotaurs versus the... I'm assuming this is a Greek reference as well. Minotaurs versus... goat gods. Or... I'm assuming that name means something. So, M-E-L-A-N-I-O-N. Millennium. Millennion Greek. Hippomene is the son of the Arcadian king. Okay. Okay, it's not really telling me much about it, but yeah. The point is, the two of them are fighting. Okay. I swear they just go on Wikipedia and just pick up subtle references. I have to realize that Wikipedia, a lot of stuff is incorrect. Wikipedia is written by people, and usually those people are not the most enlightened. Alright, I'm gonna do one more fate, then I'll finish. Now that I think about it, this is probably the first mount I ever got. Even before I got a Chocobo. I think this unlocks first in 2.0, didn't it? Even before you could mount it. Before you could get your Chocobo, you got this. I think. Bite your face off. I think it's a collector edition I think it is the 2.0 Collector's Edition. It came with the Moogle hat, I think. Was the Fat Chocobo Collector's Edition? Or was that Heavensward? Yeah, I've got the Fat Chocobo. Well, I've got the yellow one. I don't have the black one. Where is it? Yeah, chubby. Oh, no. Unmatched. And then it switches to Cape when he flies. I love that as well. To get him to fly. I always love that little reference that changes to Cape. And then you have then you have Kexel showing off, of course. Where's the black one from again, Kexel? Is that the one you bought or something? Rue, it's been my pleasure. I love nerding around with people, and I don't stream nearly enough, you know? So, it's been a pleasure, and be sure to look at the sky tonight, because the solar storm is not over. So, the chances of seeing it tonight are still likely. It was a Twitch thing for EU. Oh, yeah! Now I remember. I think you had to subscribe or something to Twitch or something in order to get the Chocobo. Because it wasn't just like a tune-in thing, I don't think. Otherwise, I would have got it. It's still funny as hell. I think the Fat Chocobo is still funny. Alright, this is going to be my last fate. Yeah, you had to sub to certain people. That's probably why I just went, nope. Montecero. See, this is probably the one Greek thing I recognize, the Montecero. No. Spriggan. No. That's my Spriggan. God, it's so much bigger with a different character, though. Like, with my character, it's not that big. Like, mine's tiny. Look. Little baby. And you guys have your big ones. It's not fair. Then again, there's still mounts that ignore size conditions, isn't there? Like, there's certain mounts that will just, regardless of an Lalafell, they'll make you look huge. Like the bird. Oh, my crab is tiny. Watch. My crab is tiny. Where's my crab? Crab. Where's the crab? Damn, where's the crab? I have a crab. Yeah, I don't collect stuff, okay? Kind of. I end up getting what I get. I'm a scrub, leave me alone. Oh, there's my crab. Okay. Baby crab. Show off. Hey. Oh, that's the whatchamacallit. That's from the island, isn't it? Hold still, Kekko. Hold still. Hold still. Where are you? Hold still. Hold still. Hold still. Hold still. Head crab! Head crab! It's Half-Life 3, baby. Head crab. Where's the green one from again? Oh, where's that from? Where's that from? Where's that from? Oh. Yeah. No, I tried. I couldn't focus. Sorry. I think I got halfway. And then I got frustrated. I really do lack the good stuff. Show-offs. I did get this though, so I'm proud enough I got this. I mean, I did work hard for this. I busted my ass for an entire day to get this. Anyway, I think I'm going to finish my stream there because my throat is starting to get sore. So, I appreciate everybody turning up, and I think you're probably the only ones left actually on the stream. Did you get lucky for that throne or grind? First and only clear. Lies. Slander. Lies. Right, see you later. I will talk to everybody soon, and I'll chop this up, hopefully for entertainment's sake. Good night. I'm gonna check out the window right now to see if I can see the northern lights.